We'll be working on the Volvo S60R today, our first official Malco Products project car. We've got some fecal matter. It's not only dirty, it's a health hazard. The vehicle is not in great condition, but we've got some products that can help really bring this car back to life. We're going to take you step by step on how we take this Volvo from a barn find to a beauty.
Hi, Seth Glauberman, President of Malco Products. Here with me is
John Miller, Director of Sales over at Malco Products. We're excited to bring you here today. We're going to show you our first official Malco Products project car.
All right, well, here it is. One of the cool things about this car is, one, it's really a sleeper car.
In the 2000s, Volvo decided they wanted to go against their competition from Mercedes, Audi, and BMW. So to do so, they brought out the S60 and the V70R. Both of these cars are powered by a 5-cylinder inline turbocharged engine, produces 300 horsepower, 295 foot-pounds of torque. In our car, we have a 6-speed manual transmission, big Brembo brakes, and this will accelerate the car from 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds, which is pretty impressive for the era. It's a very unique car. It combines luxury and performance all in one, from a company typically known for boring cars that were safe.
We can see there's a little bit of damage. It's been a mouse house for a little while.
We've got a nest here. We've got some fecal matter. We have lots of nuts and all kinds of stuff here that they're storing for a rainy day. We've got to get through and clean this out before we can really start working on this engine. Not only is it dirty, it's a health hazard. In preparation for cleaning and washing and decontaminating the car, we're going to remove the old ancient license plate and the 18-year-old sticker. License plate's easy. A little bit harder is going to be this sticker. We're initially going to hit it with a heat gun. This is going to soften the adhesive. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do, so we're going to heat it up to remove it initially using a plastic razor blade and a heat gun, and then we're going to use our A&L Cosmoline remover. We've removed the plastic and the vinyl part of the sticker. Now, next step is going to be to use A&L Cosmoline remover. This is going to remove any residual adhesive from the panel. But this is a much easier way than the alternatives. Let's see, we've already removed quite a bit of it. Next up, we're actually going to remove the underhood insulation. You can see there's a hole in here. Now let's see what we got behind here. Oh yeah. So we definitely had some friends in here. Now we know where they got the material from to make the nest. This will make it much easier to get up here and clean. We're gonna start pressure wash from the top down, blow out this nest and some of this nuts and the feces.
In order to truly see what we're working with, we're gonna start by degreasing the engine bay. Then we're gonna move on to degreasing the exterior surfaces, wheel wells, glass, everything like that to remove any contamination. Finally, we're gonna wash the vehicle, and then it's gonna be prepared for our next steps, whether that be a paint correction or whatever detailing we need to do on the exterior.
So you really want to spray down a lot just to neutralize it. But can you see even how much cleaner and brighter it is from here?
This car has great blue leather interior, and one of the things we're going to be really focused on is how do we bring it back to an as-new condition. One way you can tell when leather's pretty dirty is it's shiny. You know, the oils from your arm, you're resting on it. So you can see right here, all this is where it's really dried out. You can see some cracking. We might not be able to make it like it's brand new, but we are going to be able to really improve and smooth out the leather.
First thing we're going to do is bust out our very first product ever developed over 70 years ago, Malco Leather and Plastic Cleaner. It will pull all this dirt out of the leather here and the surface, and then what's great is we'll actually then follow up with our leather conditioner to bring this leather back to its almost like new condition.
So you can see just how even it brightens up in the color just from having the leather and plastic cleaner on it.
One of the dirtiest, nastiest parts of this vehicle was the shift ball itself. We used our leather and plastic cleaner again with a little brush for mild agitation to just remove 13 years of just disgusting grime and dirt.
I bet this car has never even seen underneath the rubber floor mat since it's come in. So, oh my God, look at this. All this salt and crap and dog hair. So let's get this out. Oh man, you can just see the salt and crap that's on this. So it'd be good to show you how you can take this out.
Before we do anything else, we're going to start with vacuuming out the interior surfaces to just remove any large particles, dirt, and dust.
I'm also going to use this machine, which is the Malco Extracts machine, which is great. It heats up, gets extremely hot water that's going to help lift and pull stains out while at the same time vacuuming. We've gotten most of the salt out. You can see there's still a little bit of buildup right here, which there's about 18 years of salt that's been built up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to just, again, use our leather plastic hack. Give a little bit of agitation, and we're gonna let this dwell while we work on some other areas of the car, and then we can come back here and finish up the rest of the salt. All right, so we got the mats out. We got them up on the wall using these mat clamps just to hold them in place. What I'm gonna do is I'm first gonna power wash it. On this side, we're gonna use Fast Shot, which is a great wheel cleaner, but it also can be used as a degreaser just to get all the dirt, off of this. On this side, what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna power wash it, dry it off, and then I'm actually going to scrub it either using leather and plastic cleaner or Extracts carpet and upholstery cleaner, depending on what I see what I have once I've actually cleaned it. So great thing, Clean and Shine is really safe on all surfaces. The only question you'd have to ask is, am I going to use leather conditioner on here in the steering wheel, or am I going to just dress it and try to get a quick finish? So I'll spray on my towel, wipe in, and you can see as it dries, it just gives a really nice clean finish. We stepped away to just let the leather and plastic cleaner dwell, and you can see a lot of the salt has kind of melted away, which is nice. So we're just gonna apply a little bit more again. And you can see that's what I pulled out of that carpet. Okay, so now we're gonna finish off, the interior. Now we need to really condition the leather. We started off with our leather and plastic cleaner, then we're gonna follow up with leather conditioner. And then we'll actually follow up, once it has a chance to really absorb the leather conditioner, is we're gonna actually use a leather coat from our Epic line that will actually protect the leather. And you can really see how the blue is just starting to pop.
This car has severe acid rain etching in the horizontal surfaces. Unfortunately, the etching is so deep, we're just gonna have to do a light buff and a mild protection. But at the end of the day, it's really not worth having to re-clear coat the entire vehicle, in our opinion. We're gonna make it look as good as possible. You've got your typical scratches, abrasions, whatnot from car washes and just general exposure. But in addition, you're gonna see some deep pitting here that is caused from that acid rain etching, and there's no way to remove that. Before I get started with the buffing process using our Epic compound system, I wanna just ensure that there's any residual dirt or dust and grease has been removed. I mean, I've got fingerprints and stuff, we've been touching this. So one last step I wanna do is take our Epic Final Prep Wipe. We're gonna spray down the hood, just remove any oil, grease, wax, final contaminants that may have picked up over the last couple hours just sitting here. Just a quick and easy process. It's gonna save you time, increase your pad life. As you can see, it's a little bit difficult on this colored vehicle, but we certainly have refined the paint and made it clean, but there are still the imperfections that are just gonna be inherent from the etching from whatever contaminant got in and really damaged the clear.
All right, well now we're gonna start thinking about protection. And what I wanna do is I actually wanna use our SiO2 spray wax, and we're gonna put a quick protection on the front hood of this car. But I'm gonna again use our Epic Ceramic Final Prep Wipe for longer protection, make sure that everything's clean on the hood, and I'm gonna get a full quick bond with my ceramic SiO2 spray wax. And I can already feel how slick it is. And over time, this continues to bond, and it's just gonna get slicker and slicker and slicker.
On a lot of our videos, we're just talking about aesthetic restoration, paint correction, interior. We're gonna do a mechanical refresh as well. So in this car in particular, it's a quick tune-up. The oil actually was recently changed, but we're gonna show you a couple other things that we're gonna do to make sure that this is gonna be a reliable car and be as good to drive as it is to look at. First, we're gonna start with replacing the air filter. Pretty common place to start when it comes to tune-up. You just have 4 Torque screws to remove. This is a really quick and easy job. You're gonna get not only better gas mileage, but better performance. You know, this car got about 300 horsepower stock. Certainly if the air filter is dirty, it's gonna reduce that to some degree. Once the cover is removed, here's your air filter element. You know, it's certainly holding some dirt. You can see a significant amount of dirt, dust, debris trapped, and it's doing exactly what it should do. It's filtering out dirty air. We're not gonna go crazy. We just wanna make sure that all of the dirt and dust that's loose is cleaned up. And simply just install by sliding back over and lining up the index so it fits in as the original one did. Then reinstall your cover. All right, next up, pretty easy stuff. We've got 2 O-rings on the dipstick tube that we're gonna change. It's a little bit loose in there and actually will pop up under hard acceleration. We also have a slight oil leak from the cap. There's a gasket under there we're gonna replace. Really, this is a pretty easy one. We're gonna get behind, pull this gasket out. Nice fresh one from Volvo. That's gonna give us a nice tight seal and prevent any future oil leaks. You've just got 2 O-rings at the top, real quick and easy. Get a pick tool, get in behind them. They actually cracked, so your rubber is actually solidified, and that's why they're not sealing. Next part of this tune-up is actually gonna be the spark plugs. This engine, we've talked about it before, this is pretty unique. It's a 5-cylinder inline. Unfortunately, it's a little bit more in depth as far as a project goes than some of the other things we've talked about, only because you've got this charge tube that's coming from the intercooler to the turbo, blocking the access to our spark plug cover. So we're gonna have to remove that first. It's free to remove, but still gonna be very difficult to get out without removing this, so it's just gonna be easier to remove these 2 bolts. To ensure no debris gets down into the path of the turbo, we're just gonna use a couple shop towels, gently place them in here as we're working around here. This will make sure no nuts, bolts, dirt, dust, rust fall in there. So now we're gonna release and remove these 2 bolts that are holding the engine mount here. Just 18 millimeter, pretty quick and easy. It's just gonna give us a little extra working room here in the engine bay. We'll remove this and put it to the side for later. It's like one more cover to remove here to get to the 5th spark plug. And this will also allow us to inspect the timing belt. So you've got oil buildup from the bad gasket on the oil cap that was allowing oil to flow down into the top of the cylinder head. All right, now that we've thoroughly removed about 18 years of dirt, debris, oil, and other accumulated who knows what under here off camera because it was disgusting, we're gonna remove the coil packs to get to the spark plugs. Pretty quick and easy. Again, unlike most engines, you've got a 5-cylinder inline.
The spark plugs were extremely worn. Before we replace and install the new ones, we're going to apply a little bit of anti-seize. This is just going to ensure that it's much easier for the next person or myself to remove them on the next tune-up.
So we're just cleaning off any of the remaining waxes, oils, anything from touching this. So we're prepping it to use our Revive New, and just again using our ceramic final prep wipe, just a very versatile product that's going to really remove any remaining contaminants. That's going to give us a good clean surface for the Revive New to bond to. It's a good cladding restoration product. A little goes a long way. It's going to actually revitalize the plastic cover here. So we're just going to kind of wipe it on evenly, allow it to cure in. It'll kind of blend really well and give us a nice bright blue OEM-like finish that the car shipped with originally 18 years ago. It's really going to stand out under the hood. One thing we knew very early on with this Volvo is the brakes were very, very soft. We're going to do a full service on it, brake pads, brake fluid flush. It starts by removing the wheel. What's unique about this is it has wheel studs instead of wheel lugs, but 5 of them, pretty quick and easy to do. So we're going to start by removing this wheel. Now that I've removed the wheel, I can see the brake pads. This system, it's Brembo style calipers. They probably are made by Brembo. Pretty easy to replace the brake pads. We're gonna remove the whole caliper, but I'm gonna start by spraying a little penetrating oil in on the slide pins. This is gonna allow it to come out a little bit easier, I hope. Slide them out. This one's gonna take a little bit more. You just kinda gotta work it out slowly. There you go, not too bad. We'll show you in a moment.
One of the first things we noticed when we picked up our S60R is the braking system was severely neglected. They were soft and probably borderline dangerous to drive. In order to address the entire braking system after a full inspection, we realized that it needed new brake pads all the way around, and the brake fluid needed to be flushed. It probably had never been done. So we started by removing the wheels, removing all the brake pads, compressing the calipers, bleeding the braking system, pumping the brakes, and getting the pressure back up to be able to safely get this vehicle back on the road. I would say that it increased braking safety and shortened our braking distances probably 80–90%. Here you can see the interior and exterior results. We cleaned, detailed the engine, the leather, the dash, all of the paint. Vehicle looks absolutely fantastic compared to where we started. In addition, off camera, we had the wheels resprayed black, replaced the cabin air filter, worked with the stereo, a few other little things. All in all, it's turned out to be a fantastic vehicle. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more content like this, please let us know. Thank you.